Hey everyone, this is Kevin from thechesswebsite.com. Today we're in round 9, the championship round of the 2015 Norway chess tournament. Our competitors today just so happen to be 1 and 2 in the rankings. White's going to be played by Topalov. He has a small advantage. He has a half a point lead on Vishy Anand, his opponent, playing the black pieces. If Topalov gets a tie or he wins, he's going to be the champion of this tournament. If Vishy Anand wins, he does have to win. He can't tie. If he does win, then Vishy Anand will be the champion. So quite a bit at stake on this game. So we will go ahead and get into it. Topalov starts out with pawn to d4, knight f6, pawn c4, pawn e6, and then knight to f3. Actually, the same opening structure that Topalov played against yesterday when he lost to an Nishijiri when he was playing the black pieces. So I guess he saw this from White and said, hey, I'll try this out in my next round against Vishy Anand. Now pawn to d5 and then knight to c3. So changing it up a little bit from what he faced yesterday in round 8, but playing knight to c3, and then the bishop's going to come down here to b4. And this is the Rogozin defense in the Queen's Gambit decline line. Very solid line from both. It's not too crazy, though. It's more of a drawish line than anything. But bishop here to g5, pinning down the knight, and then exchange off the board. White's completely okay with it, exchanging as much material off the board. Again, if he gets a tie, he's going to win this tournament. So that's kind of his game plan right here. Pawn here to e3, solidifying this pawn structure right here. Castle on the king side. It was a little bit thinking that Vishy Anand would go ahead and just take with his bishop here on a c3 and recapture with the pawn, but decided to instead play castle on the king side. Now rook over here to c1, protecting the knight so that if the bishop does take now on c3, there won't be a double pawn on the c file. Now Vishy Anand takes with his pawn here on c4. Not my favorite move. This allows, after the pawn takes, the bishop coming up here to take here on c4. Black has given up one of his central pawns, and he's allowed his opponent to gain a tempo in the center of the board. I usually like, in this specific position, knight to c6. That way it kind of forces your opponent's move. White wants to castle on the king side, but he may get his bishop involved first, so it doesn't matter if he comes to e2 or d3. Let's say d3. From here, if Black wanted to take with c4, then after White takes on c4, White had to use an extra move, and all of a sudden Black now has the knight here on c6 and has an extra move, so he could play bishop here to d7 if he wanted to, get his rook involved to e8 or d8 if he wanted to. Many different options, but all of these I think are a little bit better than coming back here and immediately playing pawn taking here on c4. It's not a horrible move, but I do think there is a small improvement by playing something else. But after bishop here taking on c4, gaining that little tempo, pawn to c5, just a little nice outpost here. Both the bishop and pawn play very nicely together. Castle on the king side, after the pawn takes, knight taking here on d4, opening up this d file right here. Bishop here to d7, queen to b3. Attacking this bishop here, also protecting this bishop here on a c4. Knight to c6. Again, as we talked about, White's completely okay exchanging material, and that's what we see start to happen here. Bishop down here taking on c3. Rook capturing on c3. Bishop here to c6. And then bishop here to b5, looking to exchange off the bishops on board, and then just get into a queen and rook endgame. Vishy Anand decides to come here to d5, and then we see a little bit of a repeat here, and then we see a threefold repetition, meaning we've seen the same setup on board state 3 times in a row, and so this is going to be a drawn game. Was a little disappointed that Vishy Anand didn't go for the win. Only after 18 moves, it was a drawn game. So congratulations, Topalov. He wins a fantastic tournament. Vishy Anand does secure himself a tie for second place, again with Nakamura. So he played extremely well. I really was cheering for him to do something crazy and maybe come out with a win at the end. But all in all, second place with such a great field is always something to be proud of. So congratulations to all the competitors. Really cool tournament to see so many good players out here. Have enjoyed doing commentary on every round for the most part. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next tournament. Thanks for watching.